All right, we got a game to talk about. How exciting. Welcome to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, do that. Please and thank you. Send me presents. Steelers-Falcons, week one. There's a lot going on behind the scenes apparently right now. First of all, congrats to Pat Freiermuth. The Steelers just gave him a 4-year, $48 million extension. He's now the 9th highest paid tight end in football. So it's good to see them put money into the offense and the playmakers that are going to help them in the long run. So they took care of Cam Hayward. I don't know if I necessarily would have done that, but I like Cam. I don't want that to come off wrong. It's just I wouldn't have given a lot of money to a 35-year-old nose tackle. That's just my opinion. But Pat, it's good to see that he is getting paid. I think people forget how good he was as a rookie when he had a competent quarterback throwing him the ball. He had 7 touchdowns, was a big part of that offense. So hopefully with more competent quarterback play this season, we'll see more production out of Freiermuth, who's more than likely going to be the number 2 in the offense opposite of George Pickens. So congrats to Pat, staying in Pittsburgh for a very long time, which is great to see. And especially because there's been a lot of discourse around him in particular. And when you look at, the Steelers could have taken Creed Humphrey. They could have done a lot of different things with the first 2 picks back in 2021, taking Najee and taking Pat instead. I understand the discourse around that. I get it. But good to see them lock down Pat. Good to see, there's guys getting paid, staying in Pittsburgh for the long term. So good stuff all around. Steelers-Falcons week 1. Who's going to be the quarterback? I don't know. Russell Wilson, there's zero certainty right now if he's going to play. Back in July, at the beginning of training camp, obviously he missed some time with the calf. Then he played against Buffalo in week 2, played against Detroit in week 3 of the preseason. Everybody felt like, all right, that's going to be the starter. Mike Tomlin named him the starter. Everything felt like, all right, that's who it's going to be. And now he was limited yesterday with calf tightness in the same calf. Mike Tomlin tried to downplay it a little bit. He said he's not worried about it, but there's still no certainty on if he's playing or not. I'm looking at our, different beat writers around. So I'm, seeing, all right, what's Fireball saying? What's Alan Saunders saying? What are they reporting and whatnot? It's just a whole lot of nobody knows right now. So it's really weird right now. And we very well could see Justin Fields be the starter week 1, which would be cool. I'm fine with that. Mike Tomlin himself said he's extremely comfortable with it. But if Fields starts week 1 and he plays well and they win, Russell Wilson can't start week 2. I don't care if it's in Denver. Whether there were promises made behind the scenes or not, like if Fields plays well and they win, even if he plays well and they lose, if it's like a 33-30 game and Fields looks good, there's no reason to not play him in week 2. I know it's, hypothetically speaking and everything like that, but if Fields takes advantage of it, no reason to give the keys back to Russ, even if there were some sort of promises made behind the scenes. DLW, what up, JB? What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. And if you want to make my day a little better, if you want to leave a super chat, that would make my little heart go 3 sizes too big. You don't have to. I'm not trying to take all your money, but if you feel like giving me money, I certainly won't say no. TC Steels, how you doing, JB? I'm great. I've got coffee. I've got water. Yeah, I'm doing good. My girlfriend's laying on bed right now, laughing at me with my dog. I'm doing good. I can't complain. We got football to talk about. The Ravens lost last night. That's always great. Here to that. Should we talk about that a little bit? I just did on the channel. If you want to go watch Hang Time, you can go watch a little bit of recap of that. The Ravens, like the score was 27-20. It didn't feel like a 27-20 game. And if any other quarterback that we consider elite in the NFL would have missed that throw that he missed to Zay Flowers in the end zone, we would crucify them. But since it's Lamar Jackson, he has to get coddled, and we can't do that. So I think that the Ravens look sloppy. I think the offensive line looked bad. I think if you listen very closely, you can hear Ronnie Stanley get called for another illegal formation penalty. He had 3 of them last night. It was pretty funny. So I think Baltimore, I said it all offseason, they're going to take a step back. It's not going to be, when you lose 3/5 of your offensive line, that's not just going to go away. And Chris Jones was consistently getting pressure. Obviously, Lamar took advantage and ran for a lot of yards, but it was very evident that the passing game outside of Zay Flowers was largely non-existent. Isaiah likely made a few plays. Rashad Bateman had a deep catch late, but by and large, the passing game, Lamar averaged less than 7 yards an attempt. So I'm not overly worried about the Ravens. That's just my little synopsis on that. Will the Steelers offense score more than 14 points? Yes. What are their, hold on, let me pull up FanDuel real quick. What's the Steelers individual team point total over under? If it's 14, I'm hammering it. There's nothing funnier than being on a podcast and being like, hey, I'm hammering this. I can't wait to put together a 13-leg parlay that no way it can fail. Bet the mortgage on it. All right, let's see. Team points. Maybe. Totals. Steelers total points on FanDuel is over under 19.5. I'm probably not touching that because I don't have too much confidence in that. I think it could be like a 17-10 game or like a 17-13 game. It's week one, there's different things to get worked out and whatnot. But Atlanta's also going through a lot of turnover. They got a new defensive coordinator, new offense, and everything like that. So if they score 20-23, I'll be pretty happy. If they score more than that, obviously, I'll be very happy. But yeah, more than 14, I'd say that's pretty safe. They were scared to throw to wait, hold on. They were scared to crap on that throw. Yes, everybody's always. You listen to the announcers during that game too. You would have thought that Lamar Jackson was 900 pounds last year. The way that Tirico and Collins were like, he's got thinner over the offseason. He's dropped a bunch of weight. Like, bro, he lost like 15 pounds. It's not like he was on Ozempic. Jesus Christ, calm down. But yeah, I feel like everybody's always afraid to say anything, that's remotely critical of Lamar Jackson. But I'm the Cape Crusader that NFL media needs. It's really crazy to know this is the best team Justin Fields ever played on, including the O-line, and people think he's going to be worse. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be, elite. But I think that he can have, a Baker Mayfield type bounce back season where, everybody's like, okay, yeah, Baker's, the 18th best quarterback in the league, but, he played well last year. And I think that as long as Fields gets protection, if he can just see things like a half second quicker, that's the biggest thing with Justin. It's not the arm's fine. Arm's very good. The athleticism's there. It's just, can he see the field just a half second quicker? Can he see the open guy a half second quicker? Can he process faster? If he can do that, then I think he'll have a nice season. I hope that one of these guys is the long-term answer. I'm not willing to, say that either of them are until I see them for at least a month. But in talking to Russ and talking to Justin, they're both confident in what this team has. They're both confident in Mike Tomlin. They're both confident in Arthur Smith. So excited to see whoever is under center. What's up, JB? MVP Lamar throwing dimes. Yeah, we have less than 7 yards an attempt last night. No one's going to talk about that, though. Can't do that. God forbid. My profession, I tell you. Lamar ran for his life. He ran for his life a lot, yeah, because Chris Jones was eating Roger Rosengarten alive. Pure throwing is going to be top 10 to 20 with this team at least. That's my take, having watched games. I think top 20 is realistic, just because I don't think there's 32 starting caliber quarterbacks in football. Obviously, there's going to be 32 starters. I don't think all of them are starting caliber. I think that Justin can be, 18th, 19th. So we can hope so. In terms of overall preview of this, from the Falcons side, they bring over Zach Robinson, who came over with Raheem Morris, who's the new head coach in Atlanta. So similar system for Kirk, coming from Kevin O'Connell offense, who falls from that McVay tree. Zach Robinson also from the McVay tree. The offense is going to be really similar. I don't think Kirk's going to miss a beat. And I'm not too worried about the Achilles either. He's a guy that's not going to run around a lot. So I'm not worried about Kirk at all. I think Kirk's going to be fine. We'll see with Kyle Pitts. I think Drake London is a fine receiver. Bijan Robinson, obviously a really good running back. So they've got talent on that side of the ball. Really, all they've missed the past few seasons is they haven't had a quarterback. It's been a lot of Desmond Ritters who just got cut by the Cardinals after they traded for it. There's been a lot of Taylor Heineke's. Who the hell else has played there? I feel like I'm missing somebody who's also taken snaps. The ghost of Matt Ryan for a little bit. Like this happened. Marcus Mariota, that was the other one. Yeah, he stinks. There's a lot of bad quarterback play. So that's when you have bad quarterback play, that's a recipe for going 7-10 for 3 straight years like they did. So we'll see how that goes for Atlanta. Defensively, though, they had Matt Judon, who's a really good pass rusher. They signed Justin Simmons, who a lot of Steelers fans wanted the Steelers to sign. Have AJ Terrell. They have Jesse Bates. Like they got guys on that side of the ball. So I'm not going to take the Falcons defense lightly, especially with Raheem. As good of a defensive mind as he is, what he did with the Rams defense last year. Going into last year, we were all clowning the Rams, being like, who the hell are they going to start on defense not named Aaron Donald? And then they got a lot out of certain guys. Former Steeler, Ahkello Witherspoon had a nice year with them last year. Ernest Jones, who's now in Tennessee, had a nice year for them last year. So I'm not going to underestimate the Falcons defense just because they have a really good defensive mind leading them. Brought over a few new pieces. Think that they'll be solid. If there's any bet that I can tell you guys that I'm pretty confident in taking, it's the under in this game. Over-under for this game is 42.5. I don't think that's going to hit the over. I think the maximum this game is going to be is like a 23-17 game. So I would comfortably take the under 42.5. Or even if you want to go alt totals, you go to 44.5 and throw it in as part of a parlay. By the way, Travis Kelce was 6 yards away from making my parlay hit. It's always the ones that you think are easy hits that always kill you. And on the last drive, I was just begging whatever God would listen to make Patrick Mahomes throw the ball to Travis Kelce. And every God said, get fucked. So that was nice. Very nice of them to do. I see a lot of you commenting. Hold on, I'll get to all of you. By the way, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel. I think we're almost at 1,300. Very sweet of all of you. I appreciate all of you. A lot of receivers said that throw was on Flowers because he didn't settle down. I mean, again, if any other quarterback missed an open receiver who didn't have a defender within 5 yards of him in that situation, we're killing him right now. It's just fact. Yeah, look, it's not to say that Lamar played horrible. I mean, he made a really nice throw to Likely that just happened to be incomplete on the last play of the game. The throw to Bateman downfield to get them in the red zone was a solid throw. And the improv to Likely on the touchdown was a good play by Lamar. But in the biggest moments, he continues to come up short. I disagree on the gravity of the preseason tape, but hey, put your take out there. Hey, we'll see. I think that I think the Steelers' offense is going to be better just by default. They have a better offensive coordinator, better quarterbacks, better just everything. So I think that they'll all be good. I think obviously the biggest thing with Pittsburgh is if Pickens is taken care of, if they just shadow him, if they have AJ Terrell and, a safety over the top doubling him, what are you going to do? Is Van Jefferson going to come alive? He had a few nice plays in the preseason. Calvin Austin, he's predominantly going to be the slot guy. We'll see. He had a really good spring and summer. Pat Freiermuth obviously just got paid. They're going to look to him a lot. I wonder what Pat Freiermuth's props are for this game. Take a look at some quick receiving props. So George Pickens over under receiving yards is 52.5. Pat Freiermuth is 27.5. Remember last time that they played Atlanta, Pat Freiermuth had like a 70-yard reception, so maybe that's something worth noting. Van Jefferson's over under receiving yards is 17.5 yards. Good Lord in heaven. They just have zero faith in anybody. Ray McLeod's a Falcon. I forgot about that. So if you wanted to make some money, if you believe in Pat Freiermuth going off this game, if you wanted to go Pat Freiermuth, like 50 plus receiving yards, that's plus 330 on FanDuel. Not a sponsor, but if FanDuel does want to sponsor this show and become the official sportsbook of me, that would be lovely. Have your people call my people. And by my people, I mean me. I don't have people. All right. Justin Fields is polarizing. I guess some people think he's worse than Tebow. Some people think he's good. Time will tell. Yeah, I mean, he's not worse than Tebow. Like, Fields has tremendous arm talent. He's incredibly athletic. I think he was plagued by a bad organization, bad receivers, a bad offensive line, bad play. Like, everything was kind of against him. And sometimes it's not excuses. Sometimes it's reasons. Like, these aren't excuses for Justin Fields. He's not perfect, but these are legit reasons as to why he hasn't reached the potential that he had when he was a first-round pick. I want to see the Steelers use Calvin Austin in a way that Kansas City used Xavier Worthy, find ways to get him out in space and use that speed to their advantage. That would be cool. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of reverse to Calvin Austin, or if we see some sort of, quick jet touch passes to Calvin Austin. Use him on drag routes. If you want to, give him a skinny post from the slot, just try a few deep shots, something. I think that Calvin's earned that. And again, that was a guy who I was kind of low on coming into the offseason, but he looked really good in OTAs and minicamp and training camp. So obviously Calvin's going to be a bigger part of this offense. So we'll see. But overall, I mean, the Steelers are kind of in a good spot right now. I mean, obviously the Ravens losing. If they win, all right, you got to, half game up on Baltimore. The Bengals play the Patriots. That's another game take the under on. I think that Cincinnati will win that pretty handedly. And then Cleveland plays Dallas, which is a game that I think Cleveland loses. Because I think that Watson is he is what he is now. It's been 4 years since he's been good. We don't have to keep doing these think pieces. Oh, maybe Deshaun Watson. No, he's just bad. And they just reworked his contracts for something. I don't know what the thought process was behind that. I would have to look at the updated over the cap stuff to see if maybe it was a way to get out of it sooner. I don't know. A lot of people look at the dead cap if that is the case, because remember when the Falcons cut Matt Ryan or traded Matt Ryan, did they trade him or cut him? They might have traded him. Regardless, the dead cap for him is $73 million. So, I mean, it's not impossible. And obviously the Broncos are eating $80 million in dead cap over the next 2 years with Russ. So, yeah, it wouldn't be ideal, but if Watson looks that bad, I mean, the Browns got to cut bait with somebody. And it ain't going to be Kevin Stefanski, two-time coach of the year. He just won a ton of games with 5 different quarterbacks. They ain't going to get rid of Kevin Stefanski, nor should they. Everybody knows that Watson's the problem with Cleveland and the person keeping them from reaching their full potential. So they play Dallas. I think Dallas wins. And Tom Brady's broadcast debut, which I know a lot of people are paying attention to. So Steelers are in a good spot. If they win, I think they'll be tied with Cincinnati at the top as the 2 1-0 teams in the division. And then they'll go into Denver next week. And it'll be the most Steelers thing in the world to lose to the Broncos, right? I just don't think that this team is equipped to for me to confidently say, yeah, they'll be 2-0. And then your home openers against the Chargers, who have one of the best quarterbacks in football, and Justin Herbert. Outside of that, nothing else really scares me. Defensively, we'll see what Jesse Minter can do with that group. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James. They got names on that side of the ball. It's just Brandon Staley really made it. He was a bad defensive coach. And he was hired to help the defense, and the defense got worse when he was there. So it's hard for me to look at them and be yeah, they'll definitely be 2-0 just because it's the Steelers, and I just don't know what this quarterback room is going to look like. I don't know what this receiving group is going to look like. Defensively, I have all the faith in the world. I feel early on they're going to lose a few low-scoring games that are going to be incredibly frustrating to watch. I feel Denver is going to be that. They're going to lose 13-10 to Denver. All of us are going to be banging our heads against the wall and be what the hell? But in terms of Atlanta, like I said it a few times, I'll cautiously pick them to win. I won't be surprised if they don't. but I have faith. I have cautious faith. But again, if you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that. We'll do game previews every week. We'll do game recaps every week. Specifically Steelers oriented. 2 shows for the pump fake per week. Me and JP Acosta just did our playoff predictions. So that was a lot of fun. Go and watch that. We drafted cartoons. That was pretty sick. So go and watch that. Obviously, everybody loves JP. He's great at everything that he does. So go and watch that. Beanie Bishop versus Ray McLeod will be interesting. Yeah, the slot corner is probably my biggest concern on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe my biggest concern on the team as a whole, like even like more than receiver. Just because Beanie looked good in OTAs and mini camp and training camp. Preseason games were very hit and miss for the position. So if of all people, Ray McLeod burns the Steelers, that would be kind of upsetting, wouldn't it? That would be upsetting. So hopefully they come away with a win week 1. That would be lovely. Obviously, the offensive line is going to be tricky because Isaac Samalo out for 3 to 4 weeks. So they're going to go Spencer Anderson and then rookie Zach Frazier at center. And we'll see wherever the hell they decide to play Broderick Jones. That whole thing's just been a debacle. So if Atlanta gets consistent pressure, that's less than ideal. Especially because outside of Matt Judon, like Grady Jarrett's fine. But I'm not like, I don't think anybody's like staring up at their ceiling before game day thinking, how the hell are we going to stop Grady Jarrett? I think you do that with Matt Judon because he's very good. I don't think you're really doing that too much with Grady Jarrett. Is Muth still a 5-year? Jerry Dulac said 5 years, $49 million. Does that include year 4 of the rookie deal? It's a 4-year deal. I would assume that includes. Yeah, I think that includes this year. So they might be able to do something money-wise with the extension to spread the money out. But Pelissaro reported that it's a 4-year deal. And I think a bunch of other people said it's a 4-year extension. But he's in Pittsburgh for at least the next 5 years because it counts this year. So hopefully that helped. But all right, overall, let's see. If I have to make a pick on this, I guess that's kind of the point of week 1 preview. I will say Steelers 21, Falcons 18. So take the under if you're going to bet anything. And don't yell at me if your bet doesn't hit. I didn't make the bet for you. I'm just telling you what I think. So don't come coming into my comment section if the over hits, trying to dox me. Somebody doxed me on Twitter the other day, by the way. They didn't successfully do it because they said the wrong address, but they're out there. Part of me felt kind of cool that I'm like apparently important enough to get doxed, but maybe that's just me stroking my own ego. So yeah, 21-18 Steelers. That would be my final pick. Touchdown wise, let's go 3 touchdowns. Okay. I mean, I'll say George will get one. That kind of makes sense. I'll say George, Muth, Jalen. So Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, Jalen Warren, the 3 touchdowns. And by the way, go and read all the written work at Behind the Steel Curtain. Follow me on Twitter at JBaileyNFL. Justin Tucker missed his first kick and then stomped off the field like an angry toddler. Yeah, Justin Tucker's like quietly not been all that great from long range the past, like last year and to kick off the season last night. So, I mean, I would take Chris Boswell over Justin Tucker right now without really thinking twice. I know Boz is automatic. Justin Tucker feels like he's kind of losing it a little bit. So we'll see. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, we'll do preview shows every week. We'll do recap shows every week. Follow all the written work Behind the Steel Curtain for all the updated news and all that fun stuff. All the news, opinions, my opinions. If you want more of me in your life, You can go and read all of that behind the steel curtain. And then we'll be back Monday to recap everything that happened. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, please do so. Like the video, do all that YouTube stuff. I know I hate it when people say all that cliche YouTube stuff, but it does help out the channel. So if you like me and you want to help me out, just do those few little things for me and you'll make my little heart so happy. All right, guys, I'll talk to you on Monday after week 1 Sunday. I'll see you then.